together in the service of God and country. This is the voice of the patriot, and here, remember, we are not neutral. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we are affectionately called the headquarters of the truth. This is the voice of the patriot. And of course, my name, Blakk Rasta. Now today we have a number of issues to look at in our daily editorials. And I am most excited to be with you. My brother, my sister, when I look in the news, a lot of things are happening in our country, and we are the only people who can solve our own problems. Now, the very first story I am looking at today is taken from Ghana Web, and I read, Mo Kwame Nkrumah Comment. Dr. Prempeh breaks silence on 2024 comments, and I read. Now, Dr. Martin Opoku Prempeh, the 2024 running mate to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has responded to the Mo Kwame Nkrumah controversy, clarifying remarks he made about Ghana's first president during his unveiling as the new Patriotic Party's running mate in 2024. It will be recalled that NAPO, as he is popularly known, stated on the event that no president, including Kwame Nkrumah, had outperformed President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Now, since independence in 1957 till today, we have not had any president who has protected Ghana and moved the country forward like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I say from 1957 till today, you can bring your Kwame Nkrumah. No president has helped Ghana like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he stated. These comments, in which he referred to Ghana's first president as your Kwame Nkrumah, outraged many Ghanaians who condemned him for what they saw as disrespect towards Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Subsequently, NAPO issued an apology explaining that it was not his intention to disrespect Ghana's first president. Fast forward to November 2025, the NPP's 2024 running mate has clarified further that his earlier remark was taken out of context and completely misunderstood. In an exclusive interview on Joy News' PM Express on Monday, November 24, 2025, he emphasized that the public misconstrued his comments, stressing that his words did not reflect his true intent. He explained that the statement was made within a specific political moment and should not have been interpreted as an attempt to attack Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. At that time, you can't go into the evidence, so I made a statement, Mo Kwame Nkrumah, and I subsequently had to go to Nkrumah and speak to the chiefs there and explain the context in which the statement was made. So sometimes I wonder how people like Opoku Prempeh, aka NAPO, are seen as academics, people who have a certain high level of learning. Tribal bigots like that. My brother, my sister, this guy here, with no common sense, insulted the president of Ghana. Mo Kwame Nkrumah no. He was speaking Twi. When you translate it into English, your Kwame Nkrumah is not as representative as when you say it in Twi. Can I say it again? There are some things you say in Twi that can never be adequately translated into English. Mo Kwame Nkrumah no. How do you translate this into English? Your so-called Kwame Nkrumah is not your Kwame Nkrumah. No. Mo Kwame Nkrumah, no. Is your so-called Kwame Nkrumah. That is what it means. To the best of translations. Now, this guy with no common sense is still moving around trying to defend his non-commonsensicalness. Can I say that word again? Non-commonsensicalness. This man gave us independence. This man taught us patriotism. This man taught us to love our nation. This man is the most revered in our country. And in Africa, he's one of the most revered, if not the most revered, in the world of Pan-Africanism. He's the one most important commodity that a lot of people run to across the length and breadth of Ghana when it comes to Pan-Africanism. You cannot desecrate the legacy and the name of such a great guy. So when I see people like NAPO still going around after they apologized, trying to explain this, it tells you the kind of person Bawumia picked as his running mate. No wonder they performed so abysmally. And another abysmal performance is awaiting them. My brother, my sister, should they continue in this non-commonsensicalness? For want of a better word. Your so-called Kwame Nkrumah is even an insult to compare a dwarf to a giant. Kwame Nkrumah in all aspects of our history is a giant. Nana Akufo-Addo is a Lilliput as compared to Kwame Nkrumah. And even in physical terms, that is still correct. Why do you insult us like this? Sometimes I wish I could do something beyond just talking. Why do you insult the integrity of the whole nation like this? The nation rose against you, but the arrogant, empty-headed guy that you are still talking. These are the things that anger me. When people come and then they apologize, right after that they turn around, U-turn on their words. So they took us for granted. It was all because of the election. They pretended to have apologized. Now they are back on the campaign trail, disregarding the legacy of Kwame Nkrumah. Oh, what a shame. My brother, my sister, and to make it worse, listen to the tribal bigot. He said he ran to Nzima and spoke to the chiefs and explained. He didn't say that he apologized. He explained. Why the chiefs of Nzima? Because you relegate Kwame Nkrumah to only Nzima. What a shame. What a shame. After insulting Kwame Nkrumah, you ran to his village and you are apologizing to the chiefs. Kwame Nkrumah is beyond Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah is bigger than Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah is bigger than Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah is bigger than Africa. My brother, my sister, the name of Kwame Nkrumah, like the tentacles of an octopus, have gone beyond Africa. So when one empty-headed guy comes out to try to desecrate the legacy and the name of Kwame Nkrumah, you are not just stepping on the toes of the multitudes, but you are pouring brimstone and fire into a fight that you cannot stand. To NAPO, you have insulted Kwame Nkrumah enough. Please, if I were you, I will shut up. And to Bawumia, if this is the guy you are looking at bringing on again as your running mate, welcome to the game. Even 0.1% you won't get. These are the people who help disrespect you. These are the same people who call you a slave. The slave that you actually are. These are the people who tell you that they can't sit down as royals and allow you, a commoner, a slave who was brought in to weed their cocoa farms, to become their king. That be the NC. And you go and bring bigots like this, join them in your campaign. And after insulting all of you and calling you slaves, now they are going to the most important human being in our history, Kwame Nkrumah, modern day Ghana. A word to the wise. Now the next thing I want to look at is taken from the national communicator, the Daily Graphic. And I read, Supreme Court gives Wesley Girls High School 14 days to respond to religious policy allegations. And I read, the Supreme Court has given the Board of Directors of Wesley Girls Senior High School in Cape Coast 14 days to respond to allegations made by the plaintiff in the case challenging the constitutionality of certain directives of the school. Now the plaintiff, Shafiq Osman, is at the Supreme, alleging that Wesley Girls High School's policy, which forces Muslim girls to attend Christian service and prevents the Muslim girls from practicing their religion, is inconsistent with the provisions of the 1992 Constitution. In court on Tuesday, November 25, 2025, the 7-member panel hearing the case, which has Justice Gabriel Pwamang as the president, was of the view that the school's board of directors needed to respond to these factual allegations to help the court to establish the facts, if wish be. Meanwhile, the court has given the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Remsai, who represented the Minister of Education, leave to file his amended statement of case, replacing the file he filed earlier. I believe that when I die, there's a place called heaven and it's on the right-hand side. Another person believes that when they die, there's a place called heaven that goes on the left-hand side. Therefore, we have to fight when we all believe we are going to one place. What is this? It's religion by force. I come from a locality where people will stop talking to you. They will not even shake your hand, let alone eat with you or share their food, if you don't belong to their religion. I come from the Zongo. And growing up, you dare not be any other religious person except Islam. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. I grew up in Moshizongo, in Tamale. If you were any other thing except a Muslim, you were looked down on. It was a huge Muslim society that believed that the only way to go to heaven must be through Prophet Muhammad and Allah. If you don't call Allah Allah, then you are not mentioning the right name. If one man says God and you say Allah, you have to take arms against each other because he called the same man God and you called him Allah. Oh, what are we doing to ourselves? In the locality I was born, Fridays were so busy, we had to go to the mosque. My brother, growing up, it was not uncommon to see little Zongo boys go to the 1 or 2 churches in the neighborhood or just the outskirts of the neighborhood and throw stones on the roof of the church to disrupt church services because you didn't want them to go to hell. It was in bad mind. The belief Little children like us used to go and throw stones on the roof of the church whilst church services were on. Not because we hated them, not because we wanted to hurt them, but because we didn't want them to go to hell. We wanted them to stop the nonsense they were doing and follow us to the mosque so that they will go to heaven like us. My brother, religion is a personal decision. It's about time we all accepted that. Somebody today is a Muslim. Tomorrow he decides he's a Christian. If you fight and kill him now, maybe 2 years later he would have become a Muslim again. And vice versa. My brother, my sister, for how long can we continue tearing down each other because of religion, which is supposed to be personal? I decide what I want to do with my life. It's my life, for heaven's sake. Your belief tells you that your heaven is on the right. Mine tells me my heaven is on the left. Another person says there's no heaven at all. Therefore, you put bombs on planes and pick up guns and shoot us and kill us because we do not believe in what you believe. What's wrong with us? Now to Wesley School, Wesley Girls, it's sad. You are living in 2 BC. You are not serious. You are not serious. In this age, you'll be shocked that somebody wearing some dead woman's wig that has not been washed for the past 6 million years is the one sitting there taking those nasty, old, mediocre, prehistory decisions. I'm hurt. I'm pained. Those of us who have tested almost every religion in our locality, we have come to a certain conclusion that tolerance is actually the best. As I said, I come from a society where young men used to go out there and beat up people who did not belong to their religion. They will refuse you marriage to their children because you don't belong to their religion. And today, that thing is still going on. When was the last time you saw a Jehovah's Witness get married to a Pentecostal? If it is happening, then it's because now men are scarce. And the ladies need men by all means. Even if it is a fetish priest, they will marry because men are scarce. Can I say it again? My brother, my sister, let us get tolerant. I have traveled far and wide, and some of the kindest people I met, my brother, my sister, were not even religious at all. Some of the wickedest in Jamaican patois, some of the most wicked people I've met in my life were Christians, Muslims. Very wicked, more wicked than Satan. You go to the Zongo right now, my brother, my sister. Gutters are so dirty. Yet every religion says what? Cleanliness is next to godliness. When will they come out and do communal labor? Go to the Christian communities. Potholes all over the place. Yet rich people live there. When have they said, let's come out and do communal labor and fix this? But you know how to tear down each other and fight each other, all because of the terminology you use for God. One man says God is called Allah, and you say he's called God. Therefore, you have to fight. So you would see which name really represents the man. Hey, are we okay? My brother, my sister, we have fought each other so much so that even whilst alive, we don't want to give our daughters in marriage to each other because we belong to different faiths. And when we die, we want to be buried in graveyards and grave sites that are ours. Muslims want to be buried in only Muslim graves. And I hear it's because of honor. They give honor to them. Even when they are dead, they want to be in their own cemeteries. I don't know about Christians. Christians have their own graves. Muslims have their own graves. Even in death, we are separated. That is what is happening at Wesley Girls. These are Muslims. They say they don't believe in your church. By all means, you have to force them. Why? Why? I went to TM, secondary school, Kumasi. It's a Muslim school. At assembly, all of us will recite Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha means the opening. It's a very powerful prayer. Christians believe in the prayer. But the fact that it is recited in Arabic, they believe that is a Muslim thing. Therefore, some might not even recite it. There was not one instance, all 7 years I was at TM secondary school, that a Christian was forced to go to the mosque. Neither was there a single instant where a Muslim was forced to go to the church. And interestingly, at the assembly, we were not only reciting Al-Fatiha, we were also reciting the Lord's Prayer. Anybody who was attended a mass, ask them, they still do it. Depending on who was leading the morning session, they will say the Al-Fatiha first before the Lord's Prayer, or vice versa. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thine kingdom come, thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Muslims and Christians recited this together. After that, Al-Fatiha, and they will start. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Not one soul who has ever attended a mass does not know how to recite these two. And you are taught the meaning. This is what it means. It says nothing against Christianity, says nothing against any religion. It's a prayer. But the fact that it is said in Arabic, some had their own qualms about that. Why should religion divide us? The other day I met with, what's his name? Commander Boache. Kofi Boache, who attended a mass. He's a Christian. The moment he met me, he was there long before I entered Tiamade Secondary School. He said, Al-Fatiha, and we both started. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, and recited it all the way to the end. It was like a key to a door. Today, instead of trying to live in peace and harmony, we are forcing people to put away their religions and follow ours. Is this not worse than terrorism? In fact, if this is true, Wesley Girls is a terrorist scene. This is terrorism. The same way we fought Achimota School and made sure justice came into being. That is how much we're going to fight this Wesley Girls School. Well, it's in court. They are dealing with it. Our prayer is that they will come to a consensus. I have grown beyond seeing Christians as going to hell or Muslims going to hell like Christians say and Muslims say to each other. There are some Muslims who will not even shake hands with Christians. Yo, you go to hell. Wallah, shegunga. Jahilay. You don't wuta. Kaji don't wuta. Dan jahannama. And the Christian also will say, oh, Jesus is the way, the light, and the truth. Nobody goes to the Father. All these people are lost. Who cursed us like this? Who cursed us like this? Live in peace and harmony. It's your own decision. It's your own right to pick up a religion of your choice. nobody should put you under duress. I leave it here.
Yeah,